King County and Snohomish County homeowners, what is going on with the Puget Sound market? It seems like things are getting quiet. We're kind of slowing down from winter, but January is going to be here before you know it, and that's when I expect the market to really start to change. If you've been thinking about buying or selling a home in 2024, you may want to know what's coming up around the horizon. So I've got my predictions and forecasts for you coming right up. Well, Seattle homeowners, I don't know exactly what you heard in the news, but when it comes to the real estate market in this area, things have really flattened out and calmed down. So if you're thinking about a real estate transaction going into 2024, believe it or not, it's December. It's already almost time for New Year's. And that's when those home buyers start getting on their phones and looking for new properties. So if you want to have your property ready to go next spring, which is the time that I would advise, then let's talk about what it's going to take to get your property well positioned and what's going on in the market right now. So as you can see, I'm sharing on my screen a rolling 3-month average of the Seattle real estate market. We have Seattle, King County, Snohomish County, and the Seattle condo market all highlighted in different colors. What we're looking at right now is the median prices. And you can see the pattern has held consistent here in 2022. Prices go up in the spring, down in the second half of the year. Same thing 2023, up in the spring, down in the second half of the year. Part of this is because of appreciation, and part of it is because of selection bias. A lot of the nicest homes choose to wait and list in the spring of each year. So if that's you, your time is coming right up. Now, what's actually happening? Here we had this huge run up in prices during COVID, during the interest rates were getting cranked down and down to stimulate the economy, and then boom, that changed. We started having interest rates going sky high, seemingly overnight, and getting inflation under control. That, of course, happened in the second half of last year, bringing home prices down. And in January, I remember being out with a client who started looking for a home in January, and you could really feel the momentum of the market change week by week, going from old, dilapidated, kind of estate sale type of houses to more homes coming on the market, homes selling more quickly, nicer homes coming, multiple offers happening even in 2023. So we do still see those types of market conditions, and interest rates have started to come down. So if interest rates continue at this lower level, and if the spring market is strong like it has been in prior years, I am expecting to see the median home prices climbing throughout the first half of 2024. Now, let's take a look at some other statistics. What we're seeing here is new listings. This is telling us when are the most popular times for people to list their homes on the market. And this really looks like a bouncing, hopping Easter bunny jumping from end of the year to end of the year. We have our peak number of homes listed toward the middle of the year, and that pattern has been very consistent. So one thing to keep in mind is that you will have more competition from other homes for sale as we get deeper into the spring and summer months. Here are the closed sales. These are how many are actually bought and finalized. And you can see that hopping bunny pattern is continued here in this area. Now what I want to point out is something called days on market. This is telling us how long it actually takes for a home to sell. And what we can see was during those COVID years, those unicorn years, everything was selling in a week. Boom, 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 very fast, very strong seller's market. And then interest rates started to change and things really slowed down. We went to 20, 30, 40 days on market on average, which is still considered a seller's market in the grand scheme of things. But for the Seattle area, it is a lower strength market. Let's zoom this out to 10 years here and see what it's looked like in the past. So in 2016, we have had some periods where things were peaking at about 45 days on market in the middle of winter. So even compared to that, we weren't as poorly off. It was not record setting or precedent setting, at least in Snohomish County, but all of these seem pretty similar. So it was a slower time in the market, but the Seattle market is generally consistently pretty strong. If you're seeing longer days on market, it means that some homes are selling quickly and some homes are selling slowly. Typically, those slower selling homes are overpriced. Oftentimes, this happens when a price change has happened in the market where homes used to sell for more, now they're selling for less. Some people adapt right away, and some people want to sell at yesterday's prices, which are no longer applicable. So it's important, if you want to sell quickly and reasonably and have a lot of momentum with your sale, that you don't overprice your home. So are homes going up or down in value? That's what people want to know. And the answer is right here on this chart, where we see the year over year price change. And so what this is telling us is that we have between a 0% and 3.5% change in price over where we were at this time a year ago. So we've gone up a little bit. It's not a lot, but this is kind of what most pundits, most experts, most forecasters are predicting for the next year or two is relatively flat pricing. We'll see if Seattle proves them wrong in having an especially strong spring now that interest rates have gone down. But if you're waiting for a huge spike like we saw the last couple years, remember, we're calling those unicorn years for a reason. And the reason is they don't come along very often. Those low interest rates are gone, and the whole COVID situation has resolved. So unless something like that happens again, experts are predicting that we'll be on kind of a slow and steady course as we were in the pre-COVID, pre-pandemic times. And the last market metric that I want to point out for you here is the number of showings that your home may need in order to get to a pending status. This is very important because if you find that your home has a ton of showings, but it's not getting to pending, then you're not converting people at the point of the home tour. That's something that you need to tweak. It may indicate that your home is not in sufficiently good condition, or that your pricing is off, or some combination of the two. Secondarily, if you're not getting enough showings, then you won't get to pending in a reasonable time. I like to create metrics for folks so that they can see, how many showings am I getting? How does this map to what we would expect for the home to sell in the median length of time and at the median price, which is, how big of a discount are people getting? So here we can see the discounts. Some homes are selling for a little bit less than what they're listed for. This is a change than in the past, where we would get multiple offers on almost everything. So it's important to know these metrics so you can know how strong your hand is when you're negotiating. If somebody comes in with an under market or an under list offer price, is that something that you want to take, or is that something that you should avoid because you know a better offer is coming in? Things to discuss with your real estate agent on a case-by-case basis. So here I want to share with you a graph of what experts predict home value increases will look like. And this is national data, so bear that in mind. In 2023, they said 3.3%. In the Seattle market, we saw homes ranging up to that level of appreciation or less. So we were a little bit lower than that mark throughout the greater Puget Sound market. In 2024, they're predicting still positive price growth, but a little bit less. 2025 should be much like this year, and then things will start growing with a little bit more momentum. So the question here is really for home buyers and for home sellers. If you're buying a home, your chief concern may be interest rates. So what a lot of people are saying is, do you want to buy at today's prices, which are a little bit lower than they had been, and today's interest rates, with the thought that you could refinance in the future if rates come down? Or do you want to wait until the future when rates may come down and then buy at those prices, which we would anticipate to be higher based on the data and predictions that we see here? For home sellers, the question you may be asking yourself is this a good time to sell my home? Will there be a significantly better time to sell my home in the near future? This data predicts that, well, at least they're not predicting a huge increase or spike in prices. So to me, that would suggest using the regional data as far as when the strong point in your market is, which tends to be the first half of the year, and plan your move during that time. In addition, if you're moving from one house to another, you're buying another home, you'll have the same question as buyers in terms of buying while prices are low, interest rates are high, and then having the opportunity to refinance if and when interest rates do come down, an event that typically drives prices up. So now that we're looking at this chart, let's take a look at what this means in terms of dollar values. Again, we're seeing between 2 and 4% price appreciation expected. Let's say you had a house that was valued at $400,000 at the beginning of last year, 2023. You just bought it this year. What would we expect it to be worth in the future? So we're going up 2%, 3%, 4% a year, something like that. In 5 years' time, you would expect it to be worth $471,000. And again, this is a lower priced home for our market. This might be a condominium. And so if you did have the opportunity to buy something larger, you would have a larger amount of home equity projected to have materialized during that time. And if you were able to do anything to improve the home, such as replace carpets, repaint, do a little sweat equity landscaping or something like that, then you could also expect to see the value increase even more. The bottom line that I want you to think about here is that if you're someone who's worried that prices are going to fall, the experts are saying the opposite. Nationally, we expect home prices to continue to climb next year and the next year and the next year and the next. So if you do have additional questions about that for Seattle, please let me know. But this is what I want you to tune into. This is the mindset of not people who are trying to sell news. If it bleeds, it leads, but people who are looking at housing data, interest rates, and the general market to make their predictions. People in the real estate industry, not the news industry. I'm real estate agent Emily Cressey. Thank you so much for watching. If you have additional questions, I'm always at my website, homeproassociates.com. Look forward to seeing you there. You can also message me on this platform, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.